Do you feel like, what the heck is happening in this world? I don't recognize anything. It seems like it's all going to hell in a handbasket. Well, you're right. Things are changing. They are actually leveling up. Our planet is undergoing and has begun to shift into a new frequency. But the process from going from one vibration to another is dramatic. And if we don't understand it, it can scare us. So I'm here to give you some tips and tools on how to navigate, buckle up, get in, get ready, and elevate to a higher vibration in the easiest way possible. My name is Sonia Choquette. Thanks for tuning in. This is the third in my series on the planetary shifts and how you can take care of yourself. And can you imagine, even enjoy this? First of all, recognize what's happening. We have been in a very dense, heavy vibration and frequency for a long time. No denying it. Haven't you looked around and thought, God, can it get any worse than this? Well, in the Middle Ages, they thought that too. Yes, it's about time we do something different. Well, the universe has decided to help us out. Plus, we as a collective in humanity have reached a tipping point. I don't care what the news says. I don't care what your friends say. More people want to level up than not. And you don't need 100% for the world to level up. You only need 51% to tip us up into a higher frequency. And we've already crossed that threshold absolutely, and believe it or not, fully this week. So in leveling up, I want to talk about what's actually happening. I've mentioned it before, but if you're new and you haven't heard it and it bears repeating, our universe is made of vibration, energy, and frequency. Nikola Tesla taught this first. He was the first to discover it. Energy. Everything is energy. Unlimited energy. Divine universal energy. Now, that energy shifts to frequency. How we channel personally this massive unlimited energy. We then funnel it into our personal quantum field. We funnel it into our own belief system. We funnel it into our imaginations, our thoughts, our beliefs, our intentions, our commitments. Consider it like this quantum field, like Play-Doh, okay? We get to shape this energy whatever way we want based on our focus, our intention, our imagination, our commitments. That frequency then funnels in to the third dimension, which by vibration, everything you see, me, you, nature, everything is vibration. But that vibration mirrors the frequency of what we're focusing on. What we're leveling up with is that we're having this huge shift to say, look, what we're focusing on is really bad. We got to start going to a higher vibration, start to create, focus, elevate, and work with love and not fear. So that frequency shift is like, whoa, it's kind of shooting through all of us. And believe me, a lot of us are feeling that whoa frequency shift, that leveling up just in our physical bodies alone. We can't deny it. Have you had twitches? Have you had dizzy spells? Have you had vertigo? Have you been walking down the street and all of a sudden you just kind of forget where you're going or what you're doing for just a second? Have you had brain fog? Have you had nights where you shoot up out of bed and you can't sleep and you don't know why? You're just wide awake, even though you only went to bed 2 hours earlier. Have you felt anxious? Have you felt like something's shifting that's bigger than I can manage? Well, the truth is, you can manage this. It's just that you have to change. Now, our egos don't like change. That's where the dreads come from. It's like, whoa, change. Change means trouble. No, change means growth. So let's start thinking about, we're going to have to change. And how can I do that? And what do I need to change? I can't tell you the days of everything needs to change, then you sit back and order the pizza while you expect everyone else to change. is over. The big question for each and every one of us right now, and the big invitation, the no turning back invitation, is where do you need to change so that your frequency, your vibration, your broadcast that shapes your world and affects others in the world is matching the frequency of love, unconditional love and creativity and expansion that the universe has decided we're going to. In other words, we're being helped in spite of ourselves. So, first place that I want you to check in with is your imagination. You create what you imagine. Just look around. You create what you imagine. Can you imagine leveling up? Can you imagine that you're actually going to change your focus? And instead of thinking, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that, I'm worried about what they say, I'm worried about my job, I'm worried about money, and what about the banks, and oh my God, this is awful. That frequency is a very selective way to create, and it's not very creative, it's actually destructive. Instead, you can say, you know what? I am focused on that I love myself. I am in this physical body and I'm going to take good care of it. I have people who love me and people that I love, and I'm creative and I can do things that really make me happy, whether they're paid or not paid doesn't matter. I have the free will to spend my time and focus on things I love. I am going to appreciate the beauty around me versus always putting my nose in a phone or something and looking at everything that's so dark. I am going to be grateful, and I'm going to acknowledge the frequency that I want to live in by acknowledging where it is and that it exists and that it is there for me. I can have a beautiful life if I start focusing on and putting my attention to and expressing the beauty that I am exposed to and that I can create for others. And this is very important for frequency right now. Instead of complaining, which is the loudest broadcast of your frequency, comes right out of your own voice. Instead of being negative and complaining, which is toxic frequency and super incongruent to what's going on right now and will ricochet back and really will slam you with some negative consequences. Know that you create with your voice. You create with your words. You broadcast your frequency, and it goes into vibration, and that shapes the world. So you can intentionally use your voice to acknowledge, to direct, communicate, to call in exactly what you want, and to appreciate, and that word means put value on, all the beauty and all the wonder and all the joy that is happening. In fact, can you imagine going from a life of FOMO, just fear of missing out, everybody seems to have the party and I'm not invited, to JOMO, joy of my miraculous life? Now, it doesn't quite work, does it? But it's a good idea, right? My life is going to be, I am a joy spreader. I am a good fairy. I am going to be part of this new frequency. There was a very uncomfortable time between the Dark Ages and the Renaissance. There was a period that I'll just call the mush. It's just like when the caterpillar goes to mush, and then out comes the butterfly. We're in mush phase, okay? We are in the period where it looks like it's only mush, but it's shifting, and the magic is there, and that magic is elevating us to a more beautiful existence. But we have to participate by becoming aware. More than becoming aware, taking responsibility for our frequency. What am I broadcasting? Whether I'm speaking or not, but when I'm speaking, I'm on speakers. What am I broadcasting? To myself? What am I broadcasting to the world? I'm responsible for the world. And if for at least part of what I'm doing for the world, if I don't like this negative world, take a look in the mirror. Am I contributing? Because if you are leveling up to this higher frequency and say, okay, I get it. I finally get it. I'm a creator. My frequency is what I focus on, what I dwell on, what I imagine, what I talk about. what holds my attention. Yeah, there's a period where the outer world is not going to mirror what I'm putting out there, but it's getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So you'll be tested. You're going to say, well, okay, I choose to have this higher vibration. I am going to be very grateful. I am going to focus on my talents, my gifts, the beauty of the planet, earth, nature, who I love and what I love. And you might be hit with the whole onslaught of negativity. Well, that's a test. And you need to say when that happens, that's not for me, not today. I'm choosing, and those are the words for today. I choose a higher vibration. I am choosing a higher focus. I am choosing a brighter outlook. I am choosing a more beautiful broadcast. I am choosing a higher, more elevated, joyful, loving frequency. I'm choosing that. But you can't just say it for 15 seconds and then go back to the funk. You really have to embody this. Now, this will change your life. So for the next week, I'm choosing to shape my frequency, to really choose my frequency consciously. I am choosing to broadcast joy, appreciation, love, creativity, spontaneity, appreciation of nature. I am broadcasting the planet that I want, the life that I want, that I choose, not the one that seems so bleak. That's not for me. That's not my life. That is not my choice. Watch what happens. My last lesson, I said the two words are not for me, not today, or yes for me today. The words for this lesson are I choose. I get to choose. That's third chakra. That is using the power of the sun in you, the life force in you. And remember, the universe is created with energy. Frequency is my personal use of energy, channels into vibration, which is the mirroring of my energy and the use of it back to me. So when I channel the sun, I choose, I decide, I open up, that it goes more quickly into a higher vibration that mirrors back to me a beautiful experience. Not everybody's having an awful life or an awful time. There's a whole lot of us having a beautiful experience because we choose to. And we recognize we're creators. And this is how we create. We take divine energy, mix it up in our own quantum field with our thoughts, beliefs, focus, imagination, intentions, commitments. Thoughts, belief, focus, intention, imagination, commitments. It's sort of like the secret recipe. All these ingredients. Seems like a lot, but they're the same. What we focus on is what we imagine, what we believe in, what we focus on and imagine. It's what we say, it's what we dwell on. We are pretty consistent. So elevate that up, level that up. And I choose to live in this frequency. And it's the divine law. It will go into the physical universe and mirror back to you. And there's a moment of the mush. I think they call it the chrysalis, where you're no longer a caterpillar, you're not quite the butterfly, but you're on your way, and we are in the chrysalis. So level up, enjoy it. I'll be back with more. So if you're new to my channel, thanks for hanging in here with me. Subscribe and tell your friends because we're all in this together. All my love.